Hey, hello, my dear friends. How are you all are doing today? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Cloudit Mohsin. So, friends, today's session is an extension of what we had covered in the previous session. And if you remember, we are covering Amazon Bedrock, that is one of the generative AI service that is offered by AWS. Okay, so what will be the agenda of this today's session is we'll just quickly recap what we had in the previous topic. Then we will try to access some of the model that is foundation models that Bedrock offers, and then we will also touch base on about its pricing and all those things for your understanding. Okay, so that is what will be that agenda of today's topic. Okay, so now let me quickly move to a page from AWS. This is documentation, and I will just quickly cover what is Amazon Bedrock that we had in the previous session. Okay, and don't worry, I'm also going to share the link of my previous YouTube, previous session in this with this one, so that you can refer it and you can go through that overview of Amazon Bedrock. So if you remember, Amazon Bedrock is nothing but it is kind of it gives us a console from where we can not only access AWS foundation model but some other leading AI companies foundation models as well. So Amazon Bedrock is a fully managed service that offers a choice of high performing foundation models, that is in short called as FMs, from leading AI companies like AI21 Labs, Anthropic, Cohere, Meta, Mistral AI, Stability AI, and Amazon through a single API. Okay, so see this the at the backend it will be a single API. It's not like there will be multiple API calls whenever we are having the model inference. So model inference is nothing but while we are working with a model and while giving the prompt like with input and we get the output, that overall process is called as model inference. Okay, so whenever we are doing this, so there will be a single API call, so there are not a multiple API call. Another thing that is very important to remember here is when we are using Amazon Bedrock as a service, this is a GUI service. Okay, and it is like for this we just need one IAM role, that's it. So it's not using some other AWS services in between, and it is using the one to one. So Amazon Bedrock as a service we are going to use for this particular session perspective. We can also have API, we can also engage the API and SDKs as well using Amazon Bedrock. Like if you have application and you want to have some APIs with Amazon Bedrock, that can be done. So there is a separate procedure for that. We need to set up using Cloud9. If in case of AWS, that is Cloud9 is an IDE, you can say, integrated development environment that we need to set up. But for this lab, it's we are just focusing on how we can do it using the GUI, that is graphical interface based. Okay, so let me first go to Amazon AWS console, and as you can see, where you will find this page is you need to go to machine learning. Okay, and inside machine learning we have different services, and Amazon Bedrock is one of the services, as we had also covered in the previous topic. And what it says, the easiest way to build and scale generative AI application with foundation models. Okay, let me click on this one. And another thing is you can see what is the region. So the region that you are looking for, ensure the region is selected, because not all foundation models are available in each region. So it's some of the models have variety of foundation models, but some other have some limited. That I will show you. Now once on this page, let me click on get started. Okay, and here we had also covered last time what are the foundation models, that we have some base models which are listed here, which are the leading AI companies models, and we have something called as playground. So playground is nothing but you can interact with different models, and then you can do some experimentation using the playgrounds. Okay, so now let me go to the playgrounds. Okay, and let me select first of all, say let me click on chat model. So here the very first thing it gives us to select a model. Okay, so I need to click on select model. Okay, and here as you can see, model with access. Okay, so right now Titan Text G1 Express, so this is one of the models from Amazon. As you can see, we have model provider. So for Mumbai region I can see only these models like Anthropic, Meta from Facebook, Mr. AI. Okay, so these are all. And for these the remaining providers you can see I don't have access, so it is showing models without access. Okay, but for Amazon I have granted access because I have requested. I'll show you how that we can do that. Let me go to model access. So whenever you want to select or start working, now you can see for Amazon I have model access granted for these three models. Okay, one is text, another is image, and another is embedding. So embedding is nothing but if you are working on the deep learning. Okay, so it creates some vector databases, and for that purpose you can go for the embedding, but I don't need right now, so I have just requested for text as well as image. Okay, now I'll show you. See, if I want this Titan multimodal embedding G1, here's the link available to request. Okay, I need to simply click on this one. And with Amazon, when we are requesting models from Amazon, so we get the access within few minutes only. Okay, but what I noticed is if we go for some other models, like say we have Cohere, these are two models from Cohere. Okay, Meta we have two different Mr. AI. So for the other ones, it may take some time. Okay, and it also depends upon how the way we have set up the payment in the our AWS console. Okay, so since the others are like Anthropic, Cohere, Meta, and Mr. Leia, these are third party, like other companies. These are not from AWS. Hence, it may take some time for getting the request, and we need to know the pricing will be based on that. So I'll also discuss how about the pricing and all those things work. Okay. So right now, if I want to access, I will simply click on say if let me click on this one, Plot 3 Sonnet. Okay, let me click on this available to request. You can request access to the model. Billing will start after you have been granted access and start using model in Bedrock. Okay, so here we need to click on request model. Okay, now you can see this has been selected, and there's some the modality stands for text and vision. So this is a text and vision foundation model, and we have end user licensing agreement. You can click on this one. If you can click, it will bring a licensing agreement. Okay, so you can go through that. What are all those licensing terms and agreement with respect to this particular model? Okay, so that you can check out. You can go through that for all those things. Once you come back, you can go down, and there's a button down here. You can see. Okay, let me just go here. And if I click on next, see here next. Okay, now we need to specify the details like company name, company website URL, what industry you are operating. Okay, all those things we need to fill up, and then once we click on next, okay, then we get a summary like there is a review and submit. And after submitting, we will get the access, and it all depends upon as it is earlier mentioned, it is third party. This is not from Amazon, so it may take some time. However, if we get request access from AWS foundation model, so it is you can say a bit easier or bit convenient, because you can see if I want to access this Titan multimodal embedding G1, which is embedding model, I can simply click on available to request and click on request model access. Okay, so this has been selected, and if I click on next, so here you can see we don't need to specify the other details what we have on the non AWS models. Okay, and if I click on submit, then we will get the access. If let me click on submit. Okay. At the top you can see model access updated submitted. So it may take several minutes to receive or remove the access. And in the meantime you can see immediately I got this access granted. So that is what I wanted to show you. So immediately we get the access. It's less than 1 minute, you can see, and I got this access. Okay, so that is something very cool about this one. And about pricing, on the same page, okay, that I had shown sometimes back. Okay, if you go to pricing, here about pricing, So it gives what is the pricing about using Amazon Bedrock. So these are the pricing models. We have on-demand batch. These are the two different types: on-demand batch and another is provision throughput. Okay. So what is the difference of between these? Say on-demand is something you are going to you are doing some experiment. You don't know how much is the the workload and what exactly kind of work you are getting, and you just want to kind of do some experiments. So that in that case, on-demand would be beneficial. So here the pricing will be we are charged for in each every input token process. Okay, so now you will say what is a token. A token is nothing but it is a group of few characters that a model understand as whenever we are giving an input. So you can say input is kind of prompt, we are giving some input, and whenever we are giving an input, so a list, you can say a group of few characters can be a token that model understand as a simple uh, prompt. So for model to understand what is a prompt and what is a list of a group of characters is called as a token. Okay. So here in this case for on-demand base, so it will be charged every input token that is processed. Okay. You can see a token comprises a few characters and refer to basic unit of text that a model learns to understand the user input and prompt. For image generation models, you are charged for every image that is generated. Okay, so if we say it is image based model, whenever we are giving some prompt, okay, generate say an image of Mona Lisa, say for example, and generate for this prompt, it generates the output. Okay, so in that case, we will be charged for every image that has been generated by the model. So this is about on demand. Okay, there is no time limit or no commitments with the on demand. Now we can also have something called as a batch mode. Okay, so batch mode we can provide a set of prompts as a single input file and receive the response as a single output file, allowing you to get simultaneous large-scale predictions. Say you have to give the prompt that is input to the model, and those inputs are say a list of 1,000 lines or something like that. Okay, so there's some limitation how much prompt we can give and how much we get the output from the model. Okay, so that differs in the model to model. In this case, if we instead of one or two liners or few liners, we need to give a batch that is a bunch of responses, bunch of input files. So that is called as a batch mode, and we can also get the responses in that can we can get stored in the S3 bucket. Say for we have given some input responses and we received a longer an output, so that can be stored in the S3 bucket so that we can have them review at the later stage. So with this respect to batch mode, the pricing will be the same as on demand. So there is no difference between on demand and batch based. So the pricing is same. It is based on per token basis. For text based, for image based, it will be per image that has been generated. Okay. I hope the point is very clear. Now it comes about provision throughput. Okay. So with provision throughput, this is something. It is primarily designed for large, consistent inference workload that need guaranteed throughput. Okay, you have okay, like this much is the workload that you are expecting, and you want it say for 1 month or 6 months of terms. In that case, you can go for the provision throughput, and you can based on that you can work with this model. So with the provision throughput pricing, you are charged by hour. You have the flexibility to choose between 1 month or 6 months commitment term. So here it will be charged based on hour. We can either select if say we want consistent response for 1 month or 6 months. Okay, so it will be charged the if whenever we are using it these models for inferencing, this model is getting inference, it is charged by hourly basis. Okay, it is not in the per token basis that we have in the earlier case on demand and batch. So that is the difference. So model customization is something like you can also customize the model foundation models with our own data to deliver tailored response for specific task and your business context. So it is kind of for our use case we can customize the model, and that can be done using that. So that is what I wanted to cover about pricing. Now let's move back to the Amazon Bedrock console. Okay? And now what I wanted to show is in the playgrounds, as you can see, we have been granted the access. Okay, so these four models we have from Amazon for Mumbai region. Now I want to do some, let's have some fun here. Now let me go to the playground and I'll go to the chat here, chat option. Okay, so here when you go to this page, chat playground, we need to select the model, and here before that we can have try some of these examples or view some more example. Let me click on this one. Okay, so here say it has given me some options like we can do some text summarization with say Titan text given express model, and there are other things that we can perform. So if I go with this one, okay, of the summarization, and let me click on open playground. Now it is kind of a meeting transcript here. Okay, you can see it's something. It seems to be some actions with respect to each person in the meeting. Okay, and let me click on run. So model is running now, you can see. And here what it has given me a kind of text summarization, like what is the summary of this overall meeting transcript. What it says is one of the person document any concern so that I can discuss with James once, only once, brand work with James. Okay, so these are some of the action items you can say based on the meeting transcript that it has. So this is kind of sample it has given. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let me go. Okay, here in the chat model we can have say we can upload some of the files like in the CSV or doc or HTML. Okay, or these are the format that it supports. Maximum 5 files and 5 MB each, like maximum 25 MB of the files we can upload here, and we can request model to provide a kind of summarization of similar to this one. So let me just click on select. I have some of the file that I have downloaded. Let me just I have an Excel sheet with some kind of data. Okay, so I'll just show you. See, I have just uploaded this Excel sheet. This is kind of a random Excel sheet with some data that it says first number, gender, country, age, date, etc., and all those things. Okay, so this is some of the data that I have. You can say kind of employee data here. Now I will ask this model. Okay, please summarize the data from the Excel sheet attached, and I will click on run. Yeah. And it has given me the output. Say it says the data from the Excel sheet is a list of individuals with their personal information, including their name, first name, last name, gender, country, age, date, and ID. There are 100 rows of data in total. Okay. Now on my right side, you can see this some button called as configuration. So the configuration is say, for example, the way you can fine tune your prompting, like how the way you are giving the input and the way you are expecting. So you can say there are the different options, like for the randomness and diversity we have temperature. So temperature from it is from 0, and maximum if we scroll to right it is 1. Okay, top is another priority or perimeter, you can see here it is also ranges from 0 to 1. Okay, another thing is response length. So here whenever we are giving the output, how much maximum response length that output it can generate. So it ranges from 0, that is sorry 1 to 4096, and these response length are it depends upon, it's not like universal thing. So for each different foundation model, these configuration parameter varies. There are some foundation models where we can get 8K as a response. Okay, so that long. Okay, so that is another thing. Stop sequence is also important thing. Say uh, you have given the prompt to the model, and what you are expecting is instead of getting all this 4000 or whatever response length, you are just looking for say 100 or 200 lines, okay? And for that, for your application, that to pick up some initial 200 or 400 to whatever that count that you are looking for, in that case you can give here say response stop sequence here, okay? And based on the stop sequence we will get the response. Now I will show you something quickly. Now say we have uploaded this excel sheet, right? Now what I will do is, let me just try to copy the earlier question and insert it again in detail. I will just add, please explain or summarize in detail, and let me click on run. Okay, so now you can see the model written the following error: input request schema violation found, reformat your, okay. So what I wanted to show is sometimes like it's not like once we have uploaded, so it's it's not necessary that model will remember the previous chat history or previously whatever chat history we have done in the past. And about if we have uploaded some documents say for once, and if we are invoking or doing the model inference for multiple times, it may not necessarily remember the chat history. So we can say like it's not like it's a stateless completely status. Some of the models may remember the history but some may not, okay? So it's not necessarily a stateless or stateful kind of the foundation models that we have. And there are some settings that we can do, like say if you need your foundation model to remember your chart history, so we need to store the previous data somewhere, like kind of S3 bucket or something like that. And we need to customize it accordingly, okay? So that is another option. But we cannot say exactly that whether it is stateful or stateless, so it all depends upon model to model, okay? Some of the models remembers the chat, some of may not remember the chat, so that's why I want to show. Now what I will do is, please, okay, let me just upload it once again. And let's do, yeah, we already added the stop sequence as 10 or 20. So please elaborate the data from the attached Excel sheet. Okay, so this is called as prompt, okay? And let me click on run. So this is ongoing, as you can see. And here we can also see what are the model metrics, like what is the overall summary, how much time it took, input token count, output token, and what will the cost. And this is on demand, okay? So we have not selected throughput optimize, that is for 1 month or 6 months commitment. This is kind of on demand, whatever we are as on demand we are prompting, we are getting based on that, okay? So it is still ongoing, you can see. And whenever we have some issues or errors, there's some acceptable usage policies and some other kind of we have some regulations as well. So nowadays the responsible AI is something as it's being more considered these days, because earlier what was the issue with the common issue you can say with the foundation model is we used to get some kind of biased output, okay? Bias with, over a particular thing. So to avoid it, so the models are being fine tuned day by day. You can say it. These models kind of as a, you can say as a baby. So for a baby, what you can say is you want to train or you can teach baby the things, and based on that it will observe the pattern, and it will start giving you or start behaving like that. So accordingly, this is, you can say, a same thing here. Okay, so in the meanwhile, I can see it's still loading. Okay, let me, in the meanwhile, I can go to the, say, text model. Okay, here again there are some examples here. Okay, so that we have seen text summarization. Let me go back, select model, and once you select model, if once it will list the models with access. Okay, so you can see models with access, there are two models with access, and text model context size 4K, text model context size 8K. That's what I was discussing some times back. So for the different models, the parameters, configuration parameter may differ. Okay, let me click on this one. Here you can say throughput. It is whether on demand or you are looking for throughput based. Okay, so it's not throughput options available. So it's like not all models support some throughput optimized models, something like that. Okay, so it is on demand right now. You can say on demand. Yeah, right. Let me just click on apply. So now that it's G1 light, that is the model. We can change as well here, not an issue. Okay, and here let me give some. So I can write right, right. Program on water. Okay, so this is my prompt. You can say it's very simple one. We can have top with these parameters. Okay, let it right now. You can say the length is again varies from 1 to 4096. Let me can limit it to say some 500. Okay, about temperature and top piece. So let me increase this one. Okay, as well as top piece, so that we can get some randomness and diversity. Is kind of, how much randomness you are looking for based on your prompt. Okay, stuff sequence is I won't select right now, and we can also have some guardrails, so kind of, safeguards, whatever, we can select those as well. And click on run. So now you can see it has given this kind of, small poem here on water. Okay, now if I want to change the response length from 500 to say 1000, so let me click on run. Now you can see the same model has given us some more lines. So based on the response rate we have got. And another thing you might have noticed, we have given this prompt only once. Okay, and while we invoked it again, we got the same. So it didn't give us error like, so it means it's not necessary it remembers the chat history or it doesn't remember. There's no or such a rule that it will or it won't remember the chat, but it depends model to model. However, we can customize based on our use cases. Okay, that is thing. Let me just, temperature. Let me just remove or reduce to zero point 0.5 and click on run. Now you can see the randomness has been changed. So earlier what we used to get, and now the output is different. Okay, and here each of this, if I go down, okay, so based on that we can get the output here. If I want, say, write a poem on water, Shakespeare style. So let me click on run. I hope Shakespeare spelling is right. Yeah. And another thing what I've noticed is even the spelling mistakes sometimes happen, like we misspell, but model is smart enough, it understand the intention. Okay, what is our intention, and based on that we will get the response. So here based on the Shakespeare style we got this response now. Okay, so this is lots of fun. You can, play around it. If I want to erase this, I can simply click on this button. If I want to copy and copy it somewhere, I can copy this and get the response prompt and response copied. Okay, if I want to clean this up, I can just simply click on this one and it gets cleaned. Okay, now let's have some, play around with on images. I'll go to image in the playgrounds. Again, it will give try one of these example. Let's see few more examples. Okay. Here for image we have okay, not an issue. Let's give a fresh prompt. Click on select model. I have this Titan image generator G1. This model I had requested for access and have access as well. Okay, and let me click on apply. So now I'm on this Titan image generator G1. This prompt of this one. Okay. So what are the options here? Let's see. Titan. Okay, let me just zoom in a bit so that you can see. We can have it can generate the images from a text prompt, like whatever we give as a text, it can generate that. Another thing is generate variations of an image. This generates variations of an input image. If you want some variation, that also can be done. Okay, let me just give painting of Mona Okay, so this is my prompt, painting of Mona Lisa in Da Vinci style. And I will click on okay. Now here again the configuration is different for different models. As you can see in the action, I can have generate image as an option. It will generate this image. Okay, I can have do some generate variations, remove object, replace playground, all those things. Even we can upload some an image as a reference and ask model to generate it based on whatever we have uploaded. That also, let's see if we can do that. So now the prompt is painting of Mona Lisa in the Vinci style. Let me click on run. And here what are the settings? We can control number of images. Okay, what is the size of the image, it is orientation, whether it should be you can see it has generated the painting of Mona Lisa in the Vinci style. If I want number of images as I guess we can generate maximum 5. Yeah, that's right. Prompt strength and seed, so these are also again different settings we have. Under negative prompt, it is something what should not be in the inside this image. So let me give something as mm, no traits, something like this. Let's go okay. uh, Let me just change the size from 10 0 to 4 to 5 1, and let's give as let's get two images generated, and let me click on run. So based on the negative prompt, okay, so let's see what it generates now. You can see it has generated these two images. Okay, uh, okay, let's I will do something else in this. Mm, mm, what we can do, let's say I'll try black color. Let's see if it generates based on that. Mm, prompt strength, let me just increase the prompt strength 10. Click on it. Yeah, so you can see it has avoided the black color in this image. Okay, uh, again for prompt strength and seed, we can click on info. If say you are not sure of what is the these parameters stand for, you can click on info button here. And what it says is, see, action, as we have seen, generate image, we can generate variations on the image, remove object or replace background. We can do prompt negative prompt is something that describe what not to include in the image. Okay, reference image, upload an up image as a reference for image generation. So for this particular model, that Amazon model, reference image option is not available. I hope that is available in the stable diffusion model. Response image generate. So if you generate an image, you can specify image dimensions, something like that. Mask tool, you can choose from either the selector or the prompt to define your mask. Okay, kind of additional fine tuning things. And about prompt strength, use this to determine how much the final image portrays the prompt. Okay, so say you have given a prompt, and based on your prompt, how much accuracy you are expecting based on your prompt. So that is something with respect to prompt strength. Seed, use this to generate similar results. Refer to the documentation links below for details about other inference parameters. So this is about Titan Image Generator G1, okay, which is the image model. We also have stability AI. This is from Stable Diffusion. Okay, this is another model, and you can see we have some other options which are available, like configuration parameters. So see, the parameter depends upon model to model. So there is no specific such a particular is there is nothing like one fits for all. Okay, so that is in a nutshell. Let me type here. mm, okay, now let me give a painting of Mona Lisa instead of black color. I will give Da Vinci. Da Vinci style. Let's see what it generates this time in map portrait. With we can either scroll up this, or we can also type here. So by default it is one, and maximum we can generate 5 images. Okay. And let me click on the, and one short tip is, if we want to it has generated now. So this is something, these are, you might be aware. So for Mona Lisa painting, there are some different styles. Not necessarily it's the Vinci style. This time it has generated with other style, as you can see. Okay. So here we can generate variations, remove objects. We can replace background and replace object as well. Let's click on generate variations. Yeah, you can see this is the variation, it seems, for whatever we had in the earlier. So it's a fun, actually, you can see. And yeah, about model access and settings. If you want to see how much, what is for each model, what are different settings available. Okay, so you can go to model access. Here we have these are the different model access. We have user guide, something that it will bring what is Amazon Bedrock, something like that. Okay, under settings, knowledge base. Okay, here let's go on info. Yeah, so there's a little bit info here. Model invocation logging. So use model invocation logging to collect metadata, requests, and responses for all model invocation in your account. This setting doesn't apply to knowledge base. Okay, so these are kind of small settings that you can check them out. Now let me go to foundation model and base models. Okay, and now if say we want to see what are the different parameters for each model, we just use Titan image generator We also touch base Titan text G1 Lite. Let me click on this one. And here there we have the information about that. See, what is the supported model. So it has given a little bit information about Amazon Text, Titan Text. It is a lightweight, efficient model. This is a text-based model, okay, and it supports text generation, code generation, rich text formatting, orchestration, fine tuning, etc. These are the attributes. Okay, use case it is have and maximum tokens. So it supports 4K token. That is 4096 that we were doing. If we want to see, we can also check on view pricing from here. API's request is something like if we want to set up, Amazon Bedrock as API model, so we can do it using Cloud9. That is one of the ID that AWS has, and from there we can set up. So here we need a model ID for that. We can do it in the upcoming sessions for this one. Okay. I also want to show, yeah, now about Titan Text G1 Express. Here you can see it supports 8K as max tokens. Okay, and these are some different use cases for this one. For image generator, so we have 512 as character limit. Okay, and maximum image size is 25 MB. And if you remember, we covered it 5 images each of 5 MB, so it supports maximum 25 MB as max image size. Okay, it can be text to image or image to image. We can upload some images, and to reference to that we can generate some other images. Titan multimodal embedding. So embedding is nothing but as it is for for deep learning perspective, and it is designed for high accuracy, fast responses. This model is ideal choice for search and recommendations use cases. That's for deep learning perspective we can use. It supports 128 tokens, and again it is output vector size, so it generates in kind of vector style outputs. So this is for embedding. And if we want to see for say Anthropic or Cohere, Anthropic, let me see. So for Anthropic we have say maximum token size. You can see Anthropic we have two models, Claude 9 Sonnet and Claude 9 Claude 3 Sonnet and Claude 3 Haiku. So it, for Sonnet we have max tokens as 200k, and Haiku again we have 200k. So each models has different parameters, configuration parameters that you can see. Model evolution we had touched base in the previous session. So to give an overview, we can it is kind of evaluation of the model before we can start using that. So that can be achieved using model evaluation. Okay, we can do the create automatic evaluation or create human based evaluation as well. Thanks. So friends, that's it for today. Just to quickly summarize what we discussed so far today. We discussed what is Amazon Bedrock. So Bedrock is nothing but it is a fully managed service from offered by AWS. This is a generative AI service, and this is very if you want to run your applications in the GenAI, so Amazon Bedrock gives us you most simplest way of doing that. So what it does, it has not only the models or foundation model from AWS, we can also have some other models from leading AI companies like Cohere, Meta, okay, Mistral AI, Stability, etc. The prices differs based on models. The parameters as well differs on based on foundation models. For pricing, we can either choose for on-demand one, or on-demand and batch, or throughput based. So these are the two options. So you can go for the on demand when you are not sure how much the workload is, like that. And in both the cases, so for the batch process, we can have it kind of multiple you can upload as a file, and we can have a provision to store the response of the prompt in the S3 bucket in both these, like on demand as well as batch mode. So it is charged based on token. So token, what is a token? It is nothing but a group of character that a model understand as a prompt. That is simply kind of token, you can say. When in the on demand and batch mode we go for an image base, so the prices will be based on the images that have been generated based on our response. Okay. Now another thing that when we go for the throughput based pricing model, so here we need to, so this is basically recommended when we know the exact workload, so we can either choose for either 1 month or 6 months as a terms. Okay, and here it is charged on hourly basis, it's not charged based on tokens but on the hourly basis. Okay, we also touch base today that how we can request access to the model. So for Amazon's own models, we can get the access within 1 minute, we can say. Okay, so in the provider you can say from we have, these are the different providers. So we tested with Amazon's own foundation models today, and it was the access was yeah, within a minute. But for other models, that it may take some time to get the output, that model access. So that is about it. And finally, we played about on the playground about chat, text, as well as image. We had given some prompt, and based on that, model has generated. And we also tested some configurations, like different configuration, like negative prompt, or say prompt accuracy. Okay, and then negative prompt. Okay, so all those things. That friends, I hope we had a lot of fun today, and I would recommend please you can also play around and do some fun here with the Bitra, which is very really nice service that we can use with. And that's it for today, friends. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is Cloud with Mohsin. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. Bye bye.